They say there's no crying in baseball, but Freddie Freeman broke that code in a big way on his first return to Atlanta since spurning the Braves for the Dodgers during free agency. He didn't just cry when he walked into the press room, to the plate, or on the field. He wept. He wept like he lost something great, and it turns out he just might have. To quote the band Cinderella, if we take some time to think it over, baby, take some time. Let me know if you really want to go. But you don't know what you got till it's gone. Now, Freeman has made a ton of money throughout his career with the Braves. His kids' grandchildren will be taken care of, and the Dodgers did pay him handsomely. But some things are bigger than money when you get to a certain point. Freddie had stability. He was welcomed as the heir apparent to Chipper Jones, and Braves Nation embraced the Cali kid with open arms. Make no mistake, Freddie Freeman was the ultimate Brave. He stuck with them through the bad times, and the Braves decided to build around Freddie, a choice that ultimately led to a World Series championship. Through the turmoil of negotiations, it was said that Freeman and the Braves were getting close to a deal when Freeman's agent, Casey Close, countered the Braves for more money and gave them an hour deadline. This prompted the Braves to pivot and throw the bag at Oakland A's first baseman Matt Olson. This also sealed Freddie's fate as he ended up taking the Dodgers up on their offer. When Freeman walked into that press room for the first time, it actually hit him. He was the enemy. He was on the team the Braves built for years to get past. He had become Harvey Dent. The whirlwind of all the close relationships and friendships he had made, the comfortability of his family, and knowing the whole city was behind not only what he was, but who he was. In LA, he's a big fish in an ocean. In Atlanta, he was a whale in a pond. And when you lose a close bond with someone or an organization that gambled on you, that developed you in your career, a fan base that was there when it was going good and when it was going bad, he will never find that in Los Angeles. And it seems to me like he has just now realized it and then proceeded to let his agent go. Freddie Freeman is one of the greatest examples of you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. But if you're going to die a hero, you need to have epic will. We'll get to that later. But guys, it's pretty apparent if you follow the bouncing balls and you watch the way he acted. And I'm a firm believer in multiple things can be true at once. I think you can be upset with Freddie. I think you can feel like Freddie betrayed the Braves because it wasn't like you went to the Angels. It wasn't like you went to the Padres or even the Yankees. You went to the Dodgers. You went to the team that stands by the door typically for the Braves to get to the World Series and play a team from the American League. You are Harvey Dent. Freddie Freeman is Harvey Dent, 100%. But on the other hand, you can look at his emotion and the way that he acted and be able to sympathize as a human being with Freddie Freeman a little bit. But it's a business, David. He made a business decision. When you make your bed, sometimes you got to lay in it.
Fact. And the first night he came back, he was emotional and got a standing ovation, all that. We understand that. That makes perfect sense, right? And the second night, it's happening again. Then like the third night, he can barely walk into the media room without having to turn around, and he's like weeping from his eyes. Now you're starting to think like, man, something's going on here. Like this has really hit him hard. I mean, when you look at the contract negotiations, how they played out, there was this thinking that maybe the Braves don't really want him, or have they just maxed out on their value? But I mean, now, and shout out to my boy Stephen Ely for keeping us posted on a lot of this stuff. But it sounds like when he was in Atlanta over this past weekend, he said he quote unquote talked to the other side and found out a lot more information about his contract negotiations over the past 3 months. They're saying that, his wife is a big part of his team and had a big say in what was happening. So I don't really know how it all played out, but this isn't normal.
How did you not know this already, Freddie?
That's the part
that's extreme because, agents for the best interest of the player at the end of the day.
Well, that's where I disagree.
Well, how you don't know, somewhat of the constraints of your contract or what you're pitching out if you really want to be a Brave that bad. The thing about it with me is Freddie's like, you'll get over this. You'll get over this. It's fresh. This is still fresh. Still a fresh breakup. It is. It still hurts. You cared about her. It's like your ex. You cared about her. And now you're going back to your hometown. You got the same friend group. She's having dinner, so you have to go over. It still hurts. It's going to still hurt. You will always love the Braves. You will. But as time goes, the more times you swing the bat, the more games you play for the Dodgers, that love will just go down a little bit.
Well,
every time.
Let me counter that. I don't think the Dodgers like the way this was handled.
No, I agree with that.
I don't know if Freddie is going to be in LA as long as that contract is. Because if I'm one of the Dodgers players and I'm watching that, it's really kind of hard for me to believe you're all in. So I think you got to look at the whole context of it. I don't think it's that narrow to say, oh, well, he'll get over it.
Well,
There's a lot of different sides that go into it. And to your point about agents want the best interest for the player, no, they don't. That agent wanted him to sign with the Dodgers because you can look like when that headline hits, Freddie Freeman signs for $170 million. That's all that agent cares about. That agent doesn't care that the taxes in California is going to knock it down to make as much as the Braves count. He wants to be able to go to his boss and have that headline and say, I got Freddie Freeman signed for $168 million when the Braves were offering $140 million.
So the agent didn't care about Freddie Freeman at all?
No, the agent cares about himself more than Freddie Freeman.
Why would you hire that agent? Why wouldn't you hire an agent that doesn't have the best interest?
Looks like he's about to. He just fired the guy.
Well, I mean, that's on Freddie. Like, that's all. You have
Nobody's
to,
saying it's not
You
on
have to, first of all, I don't question Freddie on being all in on a baseball team. That's question Freddie's work ethic and give in to a team. I'll never question that.
After what you
I'll
just
never put.
What about, do you hear what Kershaw said?
No.
Did you hear what Kershaw came out and said?
Drop that little nugget on him.
He's obviously been a big contributor for our team. I hope we're not second fiddle.
No, that's fine. You can say that. I go with Freddie. I trust Freddie. This is going to hurt. You want Freddie to be emotional. As much time he spent for the Braves, that's fine. I understand that. But Freddie's going to show up to the ballpark and give his heart to play for the Dodgers. He's not going to go out of his way and not be all in for the Dodgers.
Look at
that's Freddie Freeman. I believe in Freddie Freeman as a player and work ethic. I don't think he's going to go to Dodgers and half-ass it. No, I don't believe that. And I won't believe it. It's Freddie Freeman. He's the same guy who played for the Braves. He's the same guy, just has a different uniform on. His work ethic will not change. He'll still be a great baseball player, and he won't halfway be in on playing baseball for the Dodgers. It's a business. He'll stick to his contract, and he'll give it all he's got. I will not question that about Freddie Freeman.
Let me ask you this, and this is a meme you came up with that I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I did. You like that? You
that
like
was a good one. That was a good one. Again, let me ask you this, though. I think this is a special situation. If he had just gone up and got upset, maybe answering a question in the press conference, or if he had just gone up there in his first at bat, and you got to stand and know, and it was a little bit emotional, that's one thing. I've never seen that. I've never seen a player, even players that have contributed, even guys that have gone back to the places that made them famous, a la Albert Pujols going back, multiple players that have gone back. I've never in my life seen a player react like that. And I've also never in my life heard the star of the team one of the stars of the team you went to in Clayton Kershaw, basically worried about if the Dodgers are going to be second fiddle. I think this is an anomaly. Because again, it's one thing if you were drafted by a team and they had you and then they traded you and you blew up with the team that got traded to and that was your love. They raised him from an infant. They developed him. He was going to go to Cal State Fullerton. All right, and a lot of people wanted him to pitch. A lot of teams that were looking at him in the Major League Baseball wanted him to pitch. The Braves said, no, we want you to hit. And they took a chance on him, and it paid off. And when it was going bad for the Braves, and it was an absolute crap show in Atlanta, Freddie was the only one that stuck around. The team believed in him, and he believed in the team. I think this bond is so much, I don't know if it's ever going to get fixed. You can be married for 10 years. You can be married for 12 years. But when you lay your head down on the pillow at night and you close your eyes, I think there's one image that pops in his head. And I think that's showing up to Truist Park in a Braves uniform being the face of the Atlanta Braves. He will never be the face of the Dodgers. He will never have the same type of identity with that fan base. People in LA don't care about Freddie Freeman. You can do whatever you want in LA. In Atlanta, he was the ultimate, consummate Atlanta Brave. And I don't think you get a second chance at that. And Chipper told him, if you do this, don't expect him to bring you back. And I bet they don't.
Well, he's batting .308 with 10 tanks right now. So I think he's doing pretty good.
Well, what do you make about, he made a very important point. He said all that about feeling at home with the Braves, but also when you look at the numbers, he probably was going to make more money in Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, look at this. With Freeman's contract with the Dodgers, technically it's 6 years, 162, right? But has almost $60 million in deferrals. When the union filled out the paperwork, they set the actual present day value of the deal at 6 years, 145. The Braves bumped up their offer 1/4 at 5. So this is all coming down to that last year, that 6 year, rather than the 5s, which the Braves were going to max out at. Why? Why does the 6 year mean that much to him?
I'm not saying the contract didn't get messed up. I'm saying Freddie's all in for the Dodgers. He's batting .308 with 10 tanks. I mean, what else do y'all want him to do?
It's
What else does he need to
fired
bat
his agent.
400, win the MVP? I mean, he's playing pretty damn good baseball. Clayton, how about you're not even the best pitcher on the Dodgers right now? How about you worry about yourself?
He didn't cover for me last night.
Yeah, how about you worry about you pitching?
Oh, was it Baby Cone?
Freddie, keep batting 300 in Major League Baseball. That's pretty good.
Again, when it comes down to it, when you get in the postseason, you know the difference between the Braves and the Dodgers last year? Braves are like this. The Braves were a team. You look in the dugout, everybody's joking with each other. Look at the picture of Freddie in the dugout with the Dodgers. He's sitting over there eating pudding by himself like Steven Glansberg. That's not normal. The Braves dugout was a party.
They have that.
That looked like a funeral with the Dodgers when Freddie said, this is not going to work. I'm just telling you, it's not going to work. You hit 308, you hit 803, you hit 750. Freddie's more of an emotional person.
So what is he going to do? Go back to the Braves?
No, I don't think the Braves.
Then it's not going to be fixed. So how's that not going to work?
Again, it's always going to hurt.
You're going to retire? How about you just keep showing up every day, batting 300, and almost averaging a home run every ninth at bat? We'll take it.
Watch what happens when the Dodgers got to go play the Braves in the playoffs. You think he's going to stand an ovation again? If you think that, there's a bridge in Kansas and a huge beachfront property I can sell.
I don't think the Braves fan are going to come out against Freddie.
In the playoffs?
I don't think.
No.
You're not getting that love in the playoffs.
I think you're underestimating the Braves fan base.
They're not going to come out against Freddie in the playoffs.
No, it's time to go to bat.
I'm not saying he'll get a standing ovation, but there won't be signs up there saying bad stuff about Freddie. I promise.
Oh, well.
I promise.
It'd be even worse.
They will not turn on Freddie.
They'll boo him, and you'll see more Matt Olson signs than you've ever seen.
They're going to boo him?
They'll boo him in the playoffs.
They're going to boo Freddie
I'd be willing to
Freeman.
bet. Booster Club, what's the Booster Club say? How many people in the comments below in the Booster Club think they'd boo Freddie Freeman in the playoffs? I'd be willing to bet. We can make a bet on that. Rob, bet $100 right now.
Maybe put out a poll.
Ooh, that's actually.
Well, I'll put one out, man. I can cancel it. And put
No,
it
don't
out.
cancel.
No. Stick with your gut.
What's Booster Club saying?
Okay. M. Hutton says, this isn't true, Jake. The Los Angeles Dodgers do like Freddie Freeman. They're glad that he's there.
All right, wait, is Hutton a Dodgers fan?
I think so.
Hutty is-
I think at the beginning
Wait, no,
of the
is Matthew
chat,
Hutton?
M. Hutton, I can't wait to be the only Dodger fan in the chat.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it makes sense.
No, I bet Brad Mader's in there, right?
Oh, Brad's in there.
Is he a Dodgers fan?
Everybody up here is a Rams and Dodgers fan. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Brad, I walked in and talked to him the other day, and he's like, well, we're happy to have Freddie. I was like, all right, Brad, I'm out.
All right, Robert Smith says, agents are there to represent the best interests of the player. Freddie's apparently was in it for the cut of the deal.
I think it works the other way around on that. I don't think
Freddie's plural agent was in it for the cut of the deal?
Yes.
Oh, that's what he's saying. Freddie's agent was in it for the cut of the deal.
Yes,
not for
and the
agent.
headline, because again, when these guys go try and get other players, the other players just don't take their word for it. They say, all right, show me what you, and it's the agency, not the agent. So the agency goes and says, here's what we got Freddie Freeman. It doesn't say anything about $57 million in deferred salary. It doesn't say anything about that. It says you signed him for 6 years, $162 million. That's what they see. They may dig a little deeper, but they're going to see that headline and make their decision off that. They're trying to acquire new clients to grow their business. That's how it works. It's the best way. It's the Rogaine of sports agents. Hey, everybody, if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and ring that bell. We're excited to be here. It's Crane & Company live 2 to 3 Central daily. Ring that bell. I want to hear it from coast to coast.